Guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. I wanted to cover this when it happened Friday last week. The whole situation with Caden Speight. And it's just a ridiculous case at this point. He allegedly texted his mother, for those that don't know, he allegedly texted his mother that he was shot and then kidnapped by 4 Hispanics and put into a van. 17 years old, and this happened in Marion County here in Florida. Now this prompted an entire Amber Alert, obviously across the state of Florida. And Marion County Sheriff's Office, detectives, police officers, as well as the aviation unit, field force unit, mounted unit, God knows how many other people, volunteers, they went out and searched like tirelessly for the 17-year-old because they believed he was missing and in grave danger. And it turns out, well, that wasn't the case at all. It was later discovered that he purchased a bicycle, a tent, and camping equipment at Walmart, and then set up this crime scene, and I'm saying that in air quotes because you guys can't see me, and then rode off on this new Walmart bike. He was later spotted by other folks in the area where he was located, and which was about 30 minutes from where he allegedly was kidnapped or abducted. It's just, it is ridiculous. It truly, truly is. Because this entire situation was a hoax. It was all made up. I don't know what this kid's problem is. He's not young. He's 17. Yes, he's young as far as he's not an adult. But he's 17 years old. 17. He's probably a senior in high school. I haven't looked it up. He could be a junior. But the fact remains, he's supposed to be heading toward college very soon. And this is the kind of behavior that he's putting out. Yeah. The Sheriff Billy Woods, put out a brief statement, I believe it was yesterday, about this case. And this is why I'm doing this video, because it's really irritating me. And if you guys haven't seen what the sheriff had to say, well, I'm going to play it right now, and it should tick you off as well.
Hello, Marion County citizens. Sheriff Woods here. I know many of you have been deeply invested into this case of Caden Speight. When you heard the initial alarming information that was being given to us, many of you even joined in to help in any way you could. And I want to commend my deputies and detectives that sprang into action and worked through the night and into the next day on this. In addition, we also had help from around the state and federal agencies. Many people reached out. Now, because of their hard work, the initial details that Caden texted to his family were proven to be false, completely made up. We did find evidence of a single gunshot where Caden left his truck. However, his claims that he had been shot and abducted were quickly disproven. We then learned that he had purchased a bicycle, tent, and camping supplies just prior to him reporting this. Now, I want to make something abundantly clear. Probably many of you are asking, well, why do you diverted so many resources? The truth is, in all cases, we cannot take anything that's done or said lightly. We have to take it as though it was the truth in the beginning, because heaven forbid if something just made one little turn and it turned out to be the truth. So, because of this alarming amount of red flags that initially kept going up, we had to continue the investigation. But here's the thing. We had witnesses that contradicted the initial information. Caden simply rode away towards Williston, while the rest of us were left to think the worst, and my team was working in an overdrive to solve this case. Now, to continue the ruse, Caden, who had a handgun with him since the beginning of all of this, chose to shoot himself in the leg, causing a non-life-threatening injury just prior to walking out to the roadway where he would be located by citizens in Williston. There is zero chance that Caden's gunshot wound came from any type of an assailant. Now, many of you have asked, will Caden be facing any charges? What about the taxpayers' cost of this large-scale investigation and search? Trust me, it is on my mind. I can tell you those items are not off the table at this point. Right now, we are still processing all of the evidence in this case. I don't want to make any statements on that until we have fully examined it all. Naturally, my detectives had a lot of questions for Caden. However, his parents refused to allow my detectives to speak with him so that we could come to a true final conclusion in all this. Again, thank you, citizens, for your tips and information that you sent in. And when we do have any updated information on this case, I promise you, we will provide it to you.
I got to tell you, I'm not as familiar with the sheriff of Marion County, but I like him. I really do. He seems like a great guy. And this kid here, Caden, he needs to face some kind of charges. The fact that his parents are not allowing the detectives, the investigators, to speak with their son is ridiculous. Their son needs to be accountable for his actions. Is this how they have treated him all his life? Have they babied him for 17 years and just coddled him and said, "Oh, everything's okay, honey. We'll take care of everything"? Because back when I was growing up, we had to learn that there was consequences for our actions. And I don't care that he shot himself and had to deal with that. Well, he's a dumbass. He is a dumb ass. That's really the bottom line. He's a dumbass. And he caused many people, and I'm talking many, and I would even guesstimate, besides Marion County, other law enforcement teams, community volunteers, to worry, put their time, their time, their personal time, to try to help find him. People shared his picture, all this information all over social media. And you know what, Caden? That's all going to stand out when you try to apply for colleges and future jobs. You're going to look like a big turd. So what you need to do right now is be a big man. Pull up your big boy pants, okay? And talk to these detectives. Now there's all kinds of pictures like the one on this little collage here that I made, where he's apparently involved in 4-H or some sort of stuff where he's a little cowboy or whatever. You know what, Caden? A real cowboy wouldn't cower back in his family's little home and hide under their protection. He would go out and take care of his business. So again, put on your jeans, your boots, or whatever the hell you gotta do. Call up those officers, those detectives, invite them to your house, go down to this department station, whatever, however you want to handle it. And have mom or dad with you if you feel like you need them, because technically you are a minor, okay? But you need to talk to Marion County Sheriff's Office. And yeah, you know what? you need to be responsible for your horrible, horrible decisions that you made. And at this point, I feel like you should be charged with something. Again, the sheriff is like, nothing's off the table. And you should have to face some sort of charges. I think you need to give back to your community, community service hours, and you should have to pay back some of this money that was put out to look for your dumbass during these couple days. But Mom and Dad, you need to stop babying Caden. You need to take his ass, or he needs to take his own ass, again, down to Marion County Sheriff's Office and talk. And I hope he does. And I hope, as Mom and Dad, you got to stop protecting this kid, because he's supposed to go to college. He's, like I said, he's 17. He's either a senior or a junior in high school at this point. And he apparently had a gun on him. He's old enough to have a gun, and he drives a car. Well, he's almost an adult, so he needs to take responsibility for his actions at this point. So I'm going to be following this one, guys, because I believe Caden Speight needs to be held accountable for his actions. This horrible situation that he put everybody in by sending out an Amber Alert, because law enforcement are needed in a lot of places. He caused them to have to work on his case, his alleged disappearance, abduction, for when it never happened. And then he also blamed 4 Hispanics for his alleged abduction. That's a whole nother situation altogether. But again, Caden, it's time to step up and be a man. All right, guys, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.